person providing bail money other than the defendant. And there's 4 points.
Yes.
All right? And point 1 is, I understand that the money that I have posted is for the bail for the defendant named in this bond in the above numbered case or cases. Okay? Paragraph 1. Paragraph 2, and this is most important. Paragraph 2. I understand that even if the defendant follows all court orders, that this money may be ordered in the judge to pay for the defendant's attorney's fees, court costs, fines, fees, and restitution to the victim, and that I may lose all of my money. That's italicized for emphasis. Third, I understand that if the defendant fails to comply with the conditions reflected in the bond, I may lose all my money should the court enter the forfeiture of bail order. Again, I may lose all my money is also italicized. And then the 4th point deals with the 10% of the bond. But my point is this, that when your client signed this surety on behalf of Mr. Kelly, right next to the signature, these conditions are set forth. So, I mean, there's a certain risk that a surety has in signing a bond slip for someone on behalf of someone who's in custody. She took that risk.
Notwithstanding the language on that, we still ask that in the issue of fairness, Judge, Mr. Kelly is a man of massive resources. This is a private citizen that comes for a limited purpose to assist. And in the interest of what fairness is, she didn't know that New York was going to indict. She didn't know that Minnesota was going to indict. She didn't know that Northern District of Illinois was going to indict. And then those changed the circumstances where, as part of paragraph 2, Judge, Mr. Counsel was representing Mr. Kelly prior to the posting of said bond. So that was hard to see how that could anticipate, someone posting bond and using those resources to cover his fees. So what we actually say in the interest of fairness, if he's not going to be released on bond in this instance, exonerate the bond. And it's not an uncommon practice if someone's custody status is...
That's a decision made by the defendant. That's not a decision made by the surety.
I understand.
That's made by the defendant. Okay? And the money is posted on behalf of the defendant by the surety.
I still think sureties, and I can find the statute, I think sureties have a right to say if there's a change of circumstance or he doesn't comply with that, they can raise and say, hey, I'd like to have that money back. I don't think it's...
I'd like to see that because I've never run across that. And I think of what that implies. Think of what that implies if what you're saying is true. The implications are that any person who posts the bond on behalf of another, all right, if they don't like what's going on with the defendant or the particular circumstances, they can come into a court and ask that the bond be exonerated because they feel that things aren't going the way that they thought that they would. That contradicts completely what's in the notice to the surety on the bond slip at the time that Ms. Love signed the bond slip.
Judge, when that bond slip was being signed in the halls of the Cook County Jail, I don't think that she took the time to have legal advice. I think that we can raise these issues, Judge, and the fact that there's any surety with a request on it doesn't like to change the way that the case is going. That's not the instance here.
What?
The bond are totally frustrated, and it seems like it's going to be a big grab at it when it wasn't initially agreed upon. So if the court would like additional information, I can present that and we can set it down for additional hearings where the court can be persuaded.
I'm not going to go down that road right now. I'm going to deny your motion. I'm going to deny it. I don't believe that there's any basis for it, so it'll be denied.
Judge.
If you have anything else in the future and you want to bring it, I'll take a look at it. But right now, you haven't really presented me with anything and in fact, I believe that the law is contrary to what you're telling me. But I'll take a look at something if you have something.
Well, if future that I have something different.
Sure. You can always ask to come in again on a petition to intervene.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay? All right, what else do we have today?
Judge, I think the only other thing is that Mr. Kelly is willing to waive his appearance on the next court date and any future date unless something substantive is going on. I know
Okay, well, let's figure out first what our next court date is, okay?
the state had suggested December 4th.
I would be inclined to give it a longer date, based upon the fact that we have discovery with 4 cases here. And then I don't know what the implications would be with the discovery that you'd receive in the Eastern District or in the Northern District as far as this case is concerned. So I think that, you know, in order to make sure that, you know, you have adequate time to sort of look at that, I would be willing to give it a 4th. Okay. I'll indicate by agreement on all 4 matters then to December 4th. And Mr. Greenberg, you want me to waive Mr. Kelly's appearance?
Please.
All right.
And if that changes, Judge, then we'll come in and
All right. I'll waive his appearance on December 4th, and then we'll...
I would, now, Judge, if we are successful in getting him admitted to bond in federal court, he will be here on that date.
I imagine you'll be in before that. Okay. All right. Then by agreement to December 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Court's in recess.